Great day for Philly. Excited to be here. Excited to welcome James and Paul. This is going to be awesome. James, thank you for choosing Philly to play. Players like James don't come along every day. So, the fact that he's here is a testament to everything that's been built. Starting with Joel's MVP caliber play and what he's been doing and growing into. And then obviously the leadership around me with Doc and Daryl and Elton. And so thank you, everyone. And look, the only last thing I'd say is that very much appreciate Ben, what he did, Seth, Andre, the contributions to Philly, and we wish them well. But now let's do this thing. Thank you.
We're very excited. Josh and ownership have been behind Doc and the front office 100 to do whatever it takes to put us in the position to as Doc says, be the winner, win the last game of the season. We've all worked tirelessly. I'd like to also thank Ben and Seth and Andre for their contributions. Doc and the coaching staff and the players have put us in a spot where, as we make this trade, we are well positioned to go on a run, and a run that hopefully excites the city of Philadelphia. With Paul, he's someone Paul knows that we were talking to this offseason and hoping to acquire. So it took us a little time, but we're really excited about what he can bring. He's a very versatile player. And then, as Doc said a couple days ago, when he was looking at the team, we've been looking for a player with a particular set of skills that he's developed over his career, and James Harden. So having an MVP and then a guy who's on pace to probably be the MVP if he can keep it up, is really exciting. All the hard work happens from here. We haven't accomplished anything yet, and I love that that Doc's as a champion, is here to lead us. So turn it over to questions. Oh, Doc, sorry, my bad.
Well, ditto, really. I don't have a lot to say. I mean, I think you guys would rather ask questions, except for I'll start out with thanking Ben and Seth and Drum. I mean, they all were great, each one of them. Enjoyed coaching all of them. One of the reasons I wanted to come here, as Josh knows in our interview, is that we would make a commitment to win. And being a winner. And we talked about it. We can do a lot of winning, or we can try to be the winner. And being the winner is hard. And that's what we want to become. And that's why we make trades like this, going out and getting Paul and James. We want the opportunity to be the winner, and we believe that this trade does that.
Thanks, guys. We'll start with Keith for questioning, then John and James. Why don't you keep on
How y'all doing? Welcome to Philly. James, this question is for you. I guess it's a two-part question. Why did you want out of Brooklyn, and why did you want Philadelphia to be your destination?
Originally, when I was going through everything I was going through, in Houston, Philly was my first choice. It just didn't happen. So, but just detailed, I don't really want to get into the Brooklyn situation. I just knew, for a very long time this was a perfect fit. And obviously you got a big man, the best big man in the league, in Joel. And then obviously the coaching, just from top to bottom, it made sense. And I'm just happy and blessed that I'm here. And as Doc and everybody knows and everybody wants is to win and be the last team standing. So I'm excited for the opportunity.
James, are you able to clear up what happened with the opt-in? I guess there was a report that you were going to opt in for the next year here with the Sixers after the trade. You still have the opportunity to do that.
I still have the opportunity to do it.
And will you?
Yes. Yeah, but everything happened so fast. I just wanted to get here and take my time and most importantly focus on the end game, and that's winning the championship.
And what can Joel Embiid do for your game, and what can you do for Joel's game?
I think we complement each other. You know, obviously the whole world knows how great Joel's been playing. Not just scoring the basketball, but rebounding. He got a triple-double last game. Just like his presence alone is unbelievable. And I feel like I'm the same way as far as, you know, making my teammates better and doing different things that impact the game at the highest level. And then we have a great core of guys that can help with that. So, I mean, I wish I was playing tonight, but, you know, just take my time and, you know, after the break, we'll get things going.
Jamie, Howard, and Mike.
Jamie Apodi from 6ABC, back here. You haven't stepped on the court yet, but before you even were in Philadelphia, your jersey sold out at the arena in less than an hour. There was a billboard touting "Welcome the Beard." How has that reception made you feel, and how do you feel about playing in front of these fans?
These fans is probably the best fans in the NBA. You know, a lot of teams say that, a lot of organizations say that, you know, a lot of fan bases say that, but like ride or die, like probably the best fans in the NBA. And I'm just happy that they're on my side and I'm not getting booed as the opposing team. But I'm excited, man. Just the love, the atmosphere, just, you know, going to that arena, it's going to be something special.
Daryl, a question for you first. You say this team's set up for the future. And the way I understand it, with this trade and other trades, you cannot use a first-round draft pick till 2029. Is that correct? Because you can't trade 2 number ones in a row with the way you have them spread out. How much of an issue could that be in trying to make a trade? And then I'll have a question for James as well.
Yeah, our focus is obviously to win now. In terms of our tradable first, that's technically true, although, you know, there are things you can do behind the scenes. Actually, Miami just did to modify certain things to make a first tradable if we wanted to go that route. But look, our focus was to keep as many of the great players as we could. We're in the window of Joel and James and Tobias right now. And, you know, making sure Tyrese Maxey is here, making sure that Matisse Thybulle is here. Those were the big priorities. We wanted to give up nothing, but you have to give up something to make a trade and get a Hall of Famer and a player that can put us into a different tier of competing. So we're very comfortable. And then we have, you know, thanks again to Doc and the coaching staff, we have a bunch of young players. I think you're seeing them out there contributing the last few games because we had to include Drummond in this deal. You know, Paul Reed's come in and done a nice job. Isaiah Joe's come in. Shake Milton's a young player. So we have a lot of things that are both putting us in a position to win now, but also, you know, players who are still on their improvement curve. Obviously, Maxey being the one and the most extreme. So we're very comfortable where we're at now and going forward.
James, just to follow up on Keith's question about coming here, it's 3 teams now in 14 months. Can you explain the thoughts behind that and why it's so many in such a short period of time?
I mean, it wasn't planned like this. 14 months ago, I didn't see myself in 3 different teams, but we are what we are here today, and I'm happy. Last year has been a lot of ups and downs, you know, a lot of stress, but whatever, that's in the past. I'm excited. I'm healthy, and you know, it's an opportunity of a lifetime.
To echo something James said, when I spoke to Sean Marks over the past you know, week primarily and a little bit before that, like I felt like it should have been a 3-team deal originally. That, you know, the fit was there for that, and you know, would have been ideal, I think, for all 3 teams if it was originally structured that way.
Right here, Mike Sealski from the Philadelphia Inquirer for James. To kind of piggyback on Howard's question a little bit, what do you feel like, whether on the court or off, are the conditions that you need for you to be at your best?
I think I'm going through that right now. Like, as far as me, I got to make sure I'm great, I'm healthy. I'm in a place where I can be the best James Harden. I can be on the court, and everything else from what I've been here the last couple of days is already in place. You know, from obviously, you know, Josh and Daryl do the thing, but, you know, Doc, you know, he makes sure everybody's knows their role, their structure, and for me, I just got to go out there and do what I do. So my job is pretty easy.
Hey, James. Kyle Newbeck from Philly Voice. Joel is pretty different from a lot of the bigs that you played with in the past. You play with a lot of rim runners, guys who are running pick and rolls with you. Have you talked to him much about how your games are going to mesh, and how do you see that partnership coming together on the floor?
We're both at a high level to where we'll figure it out. Joel does everything on the floor, so, and we got guys on our team that are very smart. We communicate, and we have coaching that's gonna put us in positions to be successful. Listen here, they have something great already going on. I'm just here to contribute, and I know that I can do that very well. So, on the court, when you got high level skill guys that knows the game and all they want to do is win, we'll figure it out.
Gina Mizell with the Philadelphia Inquirer. Daryl, you sort of touched on this in your opening remarks, but just how did you sort of balance the possibility of making this deal now versus maybe waiting until the off season, and then just what does this now do as far as your overall roster building? I know you're always trying to tweak and improve, but just a deal like this, where does this put you guys as far as your overall roster building vision?
Well, Brandon and I have been working on this since Rich Paul came to us and said, that Ben was looking for a new situation. If we could have gotten a deal done then, we would have done it then. I think it was pretty straightforward for us, for Elton and I, from the beginning. Our mission that's been given to us, and the whole reason that everyone on the team is really here. Elton's here to win a title. Doc's here to win a title. It's all unfinished business for all of us, and we've all come together. And we knew from the moment Ben asked out that if we were going to do a trade, it had to be for one that we thought could allow us to compete at a high level. And the way this league works, you have to get players of the caliber of a James Harden, and to pair with a Joel Embiid and a Tobias. You can win without it, but you look historically in the league, you're looking at pretty long odds if you don't have two great players of that level of play out there.
Hey, Paul. Lauren Rosen with Sixers.com. You've played for some really good teams, and you've played for some really good coaches. But what excites you about this team and this coach?
Yeah, first off, appreciate it. It was getting a little weird up here, but the culture. Just coming into practice, yesterday, and seeing the joy on the guy's face, and seeing how together everybody is, and seeing the energy in the building. That's what I love. That's what I love to be around. That's what I love to come to every day, and being on those good teams in the past that I've been on, all had that same energy. And coming here, man, with the talent and the players and the coaching staff and organization mixed with that energy and talent, it's unbelievable.
Paul Hudrick, Liberty Ballers. For James, Tyrese Maxey has really developed a really big role here. I guess, what have you seen from him going up against him, and how do you see your games meshing together?
Well, he's had an opportunity this year because of the circumstances, but his confidence is just going off the roof. Like his attack, he's always on attack, and then obviously his three-point shooting is extremely improved. But that right there is overall, entire game is just improved. And I think his aggressive mentality to get to the basket, to knock down the shot when he's open, it explains it all. Obviously then he's surrounded by really good players, and then the MVP of this year to make his job a lot easier. And that's where I'm coming in, to talk to him, to help him as many ways as I can. But he's been doing an unbelievable job, and he's only going to continue to get better.
This is for Josh. When you bought the team 11, 12 years ago, the big first move was Andrew Bynum, and that didn't work. Then you had Sam come in and deconstruct and reconstruct with a bunch of draft picks. That kind of didn't work. Then you had Jimmy and Tobias. That hadn't worked, and then you had bully ball with Al Horford. What makes this different?
We got two great players to build around. We've got a great coach in Doc Rivers, a great, unbelievable front office with Elton and Daryl. We have the commitment of ownership to do what it takes, and then we've got a lot of young players with Matisse and Tyrese, Tobias. So I think we have the ingredients to win here, and our goal is to win a championship. We're gonna keep trying till we get there. It's there's no straight lines to the top. You got to just keep pushing.
If I could follow with Daryl, where do you think the ceilings are for Tyrese and Matisse, who you protected really for at least since you got here, really?
Yeah, they were critical. Tyrese absolutely has a chance to be an all-star in this league. Obviously, there's a lot of work, but I know he'll put it in. That's one thing that's amazing about Tyrese is his, like James said, his confidence, but also his commitment to put the work in has been incredible. And then, Tybal, I think, easily could be Defensive Player of the Year after Joel wins it first. He told us, but Tybal, as you saw last game, six steals, and I think the coaches have really worked with him on, both using some of his unique skills and also, being solid and providing that solid defense you need to win, to have a championship caliber lineup on the floor. So both of them, I think, sky's the limit, and that's a big reason why we made sure that they weren't in this trade.
Hey guys, Chris Franklin, NJ.com. This question's for Daryl and for Doc. You guys gave up some size in that trade when it came to Andre Drummond, who also was playing well as well too. How do you guys look to replace the size aspect of that when it comes to him? And if not, who do you guys foresee in taking over that role?
Well, we're looking. I mean, we like some of the guys we have. Obviously, Paul is going to help us in that. Both Pauls, and Paul Reed as well. We have Charles Bassey. But, the buyout market is out there as well, and we're looking.
Tim Bontis from ESPN for James here in the middle. Sorry, I'm in the back. You mentioned before, James, that when you were originally looking to leave Houston last year, that this was the first place that was initially where you thought you'd be. Why did that not happen? And I have a follow-up.
I don't know.
Well, the way it's Daryl's fault. It's Daryl's fault.
The way it was presented was that you sort of had the option to choose where you wanted to go.
I wish it worked like that, but organizations got to do what's best for their team, present and future. So it didn't work like that, and I had to go to Brooklyn, which obviously we all know that could have been something special, but whatever reason was for that. So here I am today.
And to that second point, is the uncertainty around Kyrie's situation this year, did that play a part in how things developed over the past couple of months for you?
Very minimal, honestly. Like, obviously, me and Kai are really good friends. Whatever he was going through or is still going through, that's his personal preference. But it definitely did impact the team because originally, obviously, me, Kyrie, and KD on the court, and winning covers up a lot of that stuff. But it was unfortunate that, we played 16 games out of whatever it was, and, it is what it is. But this is, here in Philly is an opportunity that I'm looking forward to.
We'll go Noah, then Kai.
Hey, James. Noah Levick, NBC Sports Philadelphia. Doc told us a few days ago you've reached out to him previously about wanting, him to be your coach. Why did you do that, and what are your expectations of playing for him?
One of the best coaches to ever coach the game of basketball. Like, why wouldn't I want to be led by that? I've been doing it for a very long time, but he was doing it way longer than me, and he's experienced way more than me. And as the player that I am, I still need to learn. I still need to be helped and taught and be put in a position to be successful. So, why not?
Kai Carlin over at Sixers Wire. James, we talked about Joel and Tyrese, but I'm just curious how you think you're going to be able to fit next to Tobias as well, just a guy, out on the perimeter.
Tobias is a guy that can go get you 20 a night, and I feel like it's my job to get that out of him. He's very versatile as well, so just my job is to help be the leader, man, push guys, and get that swagger out of guys every single night, because ultimately that's going to help us get to the end goal, and that's to win a championship. So we all know how great of a talent Tobias is, but it's my job to help him with that, and from top to bottom.
Right here, Jane. How is your physical conditioning right now, as far as like being able to play in a game? How does your hamstring feel? And are you kind of on board with, we've been told you won't, play until after the All-Star break? Was that, I guess, a collaborative decision?
Yeah. So hamstring feels really good. Just doing a lot of strengthening work right now. Definitely was a collaborative decision on, after the break, making sure we're a full go. Like, uphill is the only way we can go. And then my conditioning is great. I've been doing a lot of running, a lot of sprints, a lot of treadmill work, strength and conditioning. But it's nothing like basketball conditioning, playing 5-on-5 and pick and rolls and getting hit, things like that. So that's something that I got to incorporate. But overall, my body feels great.
Last two will be Jamie and then Chris.
James, talked a lot about, we've heard the word championship being thrown around here for the last half hour. Pairing you and Joel, do you see that being possible? I'm sure you see that being possible this year.
Hell
what will
yeah.
it take to make it happen? Was that a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. There's a lot that goes into it. Obviously, it just doesn't happen overnight. But I think just here being around guys and, they have the right mindset. Obviously, it's coming from the coaching staff. But after the break, man, it's go time. So as much as, I can incorporate and figure things out fast, which, I probably it won't, be long, the better things will be. But, I mean, it shouldn't take long at all. Like, I pretty much can fit anywhere.
And this question's for Paul. Paul, I was wondering, if you could tell us, what it was like when, this way you found out about the trade and how that went about and everything.
Yeah, I found out the trade. I was actually in Atlanta playing 5-on-5 in the middle of a competitive game.
Not golfing?
I wasn't. It was cold. It was too cold. It was too cold out there, yeah. But in the middle of the game, and my brother looked over and said, "Hey, you going to Philly?" I was like, "What?" It's a competitive game going. I'm trying to win the game. So when the game got over with, that's when it really hit me, and got really excited about it, and that's how it happened.
Mike Sealski from the Inquirer, again for James. At the start of the press conference, Josh thanked you for wanting to play in Philadelphia. Based on everything that's publicly available, you didn't want to play in Houston anymore. You were able to leave. You didn't want to play in Brooklyn anymore. You were able to leave. What does that say about you, and what does it say about the power that NBA players wield in this era of basketball?
For me, I think, just the relationship that I had in Houston, it was basically mutual, but everything was on me. And same in the last situation. But, for the most part, we can control our own destiny. Not that I'm saying that's a good thing or bad thing, but I know in my situation, for whatever reason, it was mutual, and relationship, not very, new with Josh, but obviously knowing Daryl, knowing Tad, from my Houston days, knowing Doc. For me, it made sense, man. It's a time where I needed to be, around guys that I know that want to win and know that are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And the structure here is unbelievable. That's the goal, man. That's the goal. Like Daryl said, the opportunity, the window is now. Joel is playing the best he's ever played. So my job is to come out there and help him and help the entire team win the championship this year and years going forward.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.